Hello everyone, this is our new video and this week is full of scandals. First there was a Shevchenko's case and right now some drama during US Championship has arisen, and today with me my friend Vladimir and today we're gonna discuss
Sure.
this. And what happened? As you can see on your screen, Christopher Yoo got expelled from US Championship due to some sort of gross violations of the code conduct. But what in general happened? First of all, he was playing Fabiano Caruana, and I mean, he had better position, but even extra material. But then experience of Fabiano played this role, and he managed to win. By the way, Vladimir, would you be, I don't know, pissed off about the loss in such game if you played Fabiano Caruana?
Probably not. Probably not, because I mean, if you're Christopher Yoo, first of all, you shouldn't be expecting winning Fabiano in any case, even with white pieces. And second, I mean, according to Engine, it's true. First of all, he didn't see it, hopefully, during the game. But okay, I mean, he might feel that he had side edge, but the position and practical point of view was not that obvious win because there is double bishop, right, bishop pair, and there is definitely compensation. I mean, it was not never even according to Engine, it was like maximum, I think, 1.3 or 1.2 for white, and in next move already he threw it away. So I mean, no, definitely it's not something
But
that.
okay, we'll analyze the game after to see. I mean, to see about that. But I don't know. It sounded very pessimistic. Why not to win against Fabiano Caruana? He's sometimes doing such stuff during the board. I mean, during the games that
It's
everything
true.
can
It's true.
happen.
Lately, Fabiano is not playing that good, but I mean, you should remember. I mean, I'm putting myself that I'm Christopher Yoo, and if I'm Christopher Yoo, I mean, I do much worse things in the board, right? So
But yeah, I would still play for a win. I don't know. I would be pissed off because it looked like a way better position to me. So what
I know. Okay,
happened?
wait. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I will play for a win as well if I'm Christopher Yoo. Other thing is to be pissed until that level that in this for this game for this
Yeah.
type of
So
position.
what happened after the game? He was looking a little bit irritated that he managed to lose this game, and they were discussing with Caruana. Right now, you can see the clip. What happened there? And then arbiter came to him, said something, and he was so nervous that he tore Blanc apart, or it like really squeezed it with anger, with hate. I don't know how to say that. And later, the most interesting part happened, which I think led to his disqualification from the tournament because he kind of struck from the back videographer, right? And as it was pretty clear from future different Twitter posts, it was a woman, right?
Yes,
Woman,
absolutely.
sorry.
It was
Yeah,
a woman.
not women. Yeah, one woman. And actually, there was some like police came there, or I don't know what the.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like
I
I know
guess
American people like to call police, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. I guess it was like exaggerated. But yeah, it's like Christopher was expelled from the tournament. All the games were counted like as he lost, so nobody will take advantage of it. Of course, Fabiano got some rating. But in general, Vladimir, did you have any situations like this when you were so pissed that you like shut the door like Shevchenko very loudly,
okay,
or
during chess
maybe
tournaments, not.
or,
During chess tournaments, not.
or maybe hit the door when you play in Dota 2?
Okay, that can happen sometimes, but actually, I have a famous example of very well-known Ukrainian player Vladislav Larkin in one of Spanish chess tournament, where he becomes so annoyed to lose a game against absolute legend Slobodan Kovacevic, and then he kind of the same thing. He broke his blank, and he started to tell some bad words in Russian language, but okay, I mean, in the end, it was obviously like he became peace and he apologized, obviously, like there was no any problem, and what so on. It didn't reach, obviously, to physical things, etc., and whatsoever. So it doesn't look good, never, but do you really disqualify a person for such things?
Uh, I don't know. It's like it depends. Probably they had some like reasons to expel him because I don't know. like be adequate, do not like do some harm, do not like destroy hotel rooms like some famous grandmasters, yeah. But actually I remember only one good story from my childhood. Actually it was in our like mature city with Vladimir. I mean, two guys, one of them was like vice president of the federation, another one was just like international master, and they were like two like big men, and they started talking about something. It was like Victor Lucy and Yushinov, I don't remember his name, and they like were ready really to battle like in the nearby area near Plain Hall. Do you remember Vladimir that?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I've been in this tournament. I also seated quite near this.
Yeah, I don't remember what was the reason, but it was quite fun. This was the most epic battle ever. But yeah, this is something new. Okay, so let's try to see the game. What pissed off you so much? Why he was so disappointed with his performance?
Okay, but before 1 second, I would say also that it looks weird. I mean, how do you think, Vladislav? How was this attack, this aggression against this woman happened? I mean, for me, in one hand, I'll think that they might have their own reasons because for sure it's not the first time player becomes pissed or annoyed after the tournament and does something wrong, right? I mean, there are because pretty all grandmasters, right, elite players, they think that they're like unbeatable, that and when they lose the game, they become very pissed. But okay, let's see. He broke the blank. That's absolutely fine. I mean, that you cannot disqualify no one for this. Then it says that he furiously left the playing call. I mean, let it be. How
Yeah,
many
yeah,
situations? And then with the women, the thing is about women. First of all, I saw the comment in the Eric Hansen video, and okay, myself, I thought this thing exactly from the beginning. Like, I mean, the thing that happened just typically he was annoyed. He wanted fast to leave the playing hall because he was pissed, and there was someone that were not letting him pass. I mean, by accident for sure. And American people, they like to exaggerate things usually, right? And I mean, for sure, there was some, he maybe pushed her a little bit or whatever. I don't believe, I mean, that it was a punch or something because, I mean, then what is it, to be honest?
yeah.
I mean, and now the problem is it worth this? I mean, to disqualify someone, I mean, when you go to public transport, I mean, when when you're in rush, in general, depends on on the strength of how strong she was pushed or whatever. Because obviously it's bad. I mean, to do it right. But I mean, we see it in metro, we see it in buses, we see it in busy streets without really harm anyone, right? So what do you think, it was more or less this kind, or what was the reason why this situation happened? Like,
Because first one, yeah, I mean, I'm like not Doctor Who. I cannot really like transfer in time and space and see what happened there. So, like, yeah, I don't think it was really that hard. Maybe they exaggerated, but was the ban correct decision? I think yes, because like, I mean, it's gonna be like restrain him a little bit, just put out some fire because I mean, behave normally. You like chess player, lost and lost. I
also, I
mean,
mean, it's a
if
minor,
if
say, so like he's not what's his
yeah.
age, 16,
So
17. I mean,
17, yeah. It's like it's gonna be a good lesson for him. It doesn't matter what it is. If you wanna like be aggressive, crush something, come to your like I don't know house and break all the things you want. Uh,
okay, obviously we need to see a video. I mean, like if there's no video, we can just sing. Because for me,
yeah.
I absolutely not inside of the Christopher Yoo, but like I mean, if you're rushing, you just push a little bit some person just to let it pass. Like one thing, if the push was that hard, that person like flight or like got hurt or something, then obviously he need to be disqualified and not play anymore. But
I don't
okay,
know.
I don't think
If
that
he
it was
was,
that.
I think that if he was just quickly like leaving the, I mean, plane area and he like accidentally a
Not
little bit.
accident. I mean, probably not accident, but okay, he sees some person. He just
Yeah,
it's bad to do
I
it.
mean, what I'm
But
saying is that if he did it like accidentally and he would apologize after that, then it's, I mean, there wouldn't be so much scandal. So I guess there is more to this. Uh,
cause, what is the reason then to attack some woman that just taking photos? Maybe only thing that what I can say in favor of like decision of St. Louis, maybe situation was different that as she's photographer, maybe she were taking photo of him being pissed and he didn't like it. Then it's much
but I
harder. Then
mean,
it's
this
much
is like
worse.
empty talk because how can
Yeah, we
we
cannot know it,
like we
right?
just yeah spending time with no reason. Okay, so let's go to the game. So there is a game against Fabiano Caruana, knight of 3 c5, c4. There is a way to transfer this position into
Mm-hmm.
Sicilian. which Caruana successfully plays during all type of top tournaments, candidates tournaments, whatever. C4, B6, which is unusual move. There is such system. Idea is to try to take space. If let's say white will play G3, Bishop G2, there will be like pretty symmetrical position, maybe with slight H for white. But right here, Christopher goes for pretty principal line. He plays E4. His idea to grasp the center, to control it, to get some Marozzi bind. Uh, I mean, computer says that it's around equal, and actually, I mean, to play for a win, this is a great pick from Caruana, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. He's developing pretty quickly. I guess after e5 we have knight e4, right?
Probably, yeah.
So it shouldn't be big of a deal. Bishop d3 relatively fast was played. Doesn't require 5 minutes to go to the bathroom. Uh, if you don't know what we're talking about, again, there was a previous video about Shevchenko in Spanish league. 96, 96 DC, and here is the first interesting moment because e5 was played again relatively fast. I don't know, maybe he was recalling something. As I understand, one of the main moves is something like bishop f4, castle, some development, but Christopher tries to seize space. And this move is not bad. It's like, again, it's like chess.com evaluation. You never know when it's true or not. You know, I mean, there are some games that are commented by very old masters, or let's say great predators by Kasparov. When you start analyzing with an engine, there are like tons of mistakes, or sometimes the same with engine on chess.com. And right here, Vladimir, what move would you consider in the first place? Would you retreat? Would you look for activity? What would be the better approach in your opinion?
Okay, here the position is complicated. We can try to jump to g4 because knight is not really hanging there because bishop on d3 is under attack.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense because we, compared to 97, which Fabiano played, we attack in the pawn, and let's say after bishop f4, we have a brilliant move, queen d4, with an idea to attack the bishop, create mating threat, and still, if this knight is taken, we take on d3, we're totally good. I don't know why Fabiano was so sure, maybe, I don't know, he wanted to look
Yeah, he played
confident.
immediately almost
Yeah,
97.
like instantly, like really instantly.
Yes.
Maybe he was being confident and he mixed up structures, but I mean, on the depths after 40, at least, I mean, maybe Caruana analyzed it to depths like 150. Maybe he knows better again, but it was like minus 0.1 or something.
Yeah, directly.
So 97 was played, bishop f4, queen c7, queen e2, castle, and do you like this position for black?
Okay, I mean, that's acceptable. I don't say that it's very bad. If you don't do something very concrete here, you can become worse.
I don't know.
Before there will be some
I don't like it, honestly
or
speaking, because there is a huge hole on b6. We have less space. It's pretty hard to coordinate our pieces. And let's say right here, I mean, there are two approaches. One that Caruana chose, which led to some trouble, and second one, which could be played bishop c5. And if bishop c5, bishop d4, I honestly like it more, because then we're trying to create some pressure. Knight e4, probably not in time because we have this intermediate check and some like knight c5 follow up and things like that. Plus the pawn is hanging, so it depends on where he
and
moves.
if
If the
you
knight
castle
goes,
first, you're on time to play bishop d4 in this position.
yeah, you castle first, then bishop d4. But in the game, h5 was played, trying to trap the bishop somehow. But Christopher says, all right, bishop h5, and he attacks the rook. And let's say if rook e8 is played, then f4, and look at this. This is just, I mean, position full of pain. There is a huge hole, d8 is controlled, trading dark square bishop will be terrible because dark squares are weak. And that's when Caruana realized that something probably is wrong. Because right here he sacrifices his rook. Okay, fancy, but actually it's exchange for a pawn and it's a lot of compensation. But knight e5 wasn't the greatest. A little bit better was queen e5. Vladimir, how do you think? Is it easy to make a decision to take with the knight or to take with the queen in the real
Well,
game?
it's not easy at all. For me, it's easy to take decision to take in general, right? Because it's obvious that you need to do it in the end. But okay, choosing it's quite hard here
Yeah,
to evaluate.
I also think so. I guess the only like tiny difference is that we have bishops, knights. This dark square bishop can be pretty strong. Knight can add us some flexibility because like in the game what happened was knight e5 takes, and we have the bishop pair versus the knight. and we traded kind of not the best bishop, honestly speaking. But this is all very like scene edge, so it's hard to blame Fabiano for not finding the best move. But right now, Christopher actually has a lot of time. He plays castle on, using general principle of trading pieces. I don't know actually why didn't he take if he wanted to trade that much.
Yeah, I mean, here you have zero risk to lose,
But
right,
yeah,
after queen d8 and you
yeah.
pushing. So
Probably he wanted to say that like, okay, if you want to trade, I want to take benefit of it and try to double up my pieces, and if you retreat, I will control open file, which is also making sense, like totally
okay,
fine.
for me, I mean, it looks at least in the personal point of view, it's like a bit scary because yeah, queen c7 and then two bishops. I can imagine like how these two bishops can become active here, and
Yeah, it's like Christopher also could imagine after the game how it happened, I guess. But generally speaking, it makes sense. So it's like it's not a mistake. I guess it's in fine continuation. Just psychologically, it would be like harder to play because Black has some con to play. Bishop pair is the weapon that you can never underestimate. It's like a deagle in CS:GO, yeah, Vladimir. It's like in
yes.
the right hands, it can be pretty damaging. Not in Vladimir's though, but joking, joking, of
No,
course.
no, no, Ladislav, I not
Uh,
agree.
okay, in mine, no weapon would look dangerous enough. King b8, queen e3 was played. Just some standard moves. I don't know, queen e3 maybe preparing knight e4 c5 and stuff like that. Bishop a6 was played, trying to target the pawn. And right here, interesting moment because in the game b3 was played, which is marked as a mistake, which I kind of agree with because it's a dubious move. How do you think? What's so dubious about it?
Okay, it's obvious. It shows clearly that all the dark squares now become very, very weak. Like absolutely everything, like all over the place.
Yeah, and better was to play knight e4, and the move is really brilliant with an idea that after bishops take c4, we have queen c3, targeting two pieces at a time, winning absolutely the game, and otherwise we're really threatening to go c5, knight d6, taking more and more space.
What do you think, Ladislav? Is it really hard to find 94 with 1 hour on the clock?
Um, I don't know how much time, by the way, he spent. He played almost immediately.
Immediately.
Then it's like a school of Yadni Pomnishi, so it's like, you know how what I think about it. So
I don't
yeah.
know, maybe he was in rush for a date or something. These three normal moves.
Okay. Let's put it this way: like U.S.
Because really, a question is
U.S.
more.
Championship, it's like just a regular tournament. A lot of like come home, do some chores, like make some food. Uh,
But as we see now that there are much more worse things than just losing a game versus Fabiano Caruana. Much
yeah,
worse thing can happen
yeah.
sometimes.
But on the other hand, he has a lot of time, so no need to rush anymore. Can do whatever you want. So yeah, I would clearly find 94. I don't know, because I like I would be on the Caruana's place with 29 at best minutes on the clock, just because of decisions like this. And right now he taking space, which makes sense. Again, 94 c5 speaks for itself, and f4 also made sense. Right now queen e5 offering a trade, and here Caruana plays f6, saying, "You want to trade? Let's do it." Because later on he wants to try to target these weaknesses, potentially play e5, open up this guy. If the bishop comes to d4, the bishops will be real beasts. And Christopher started thinking, no, he didn't. He spent 1 minute and played queen e3, keeping the queens once again. And I guess if he traded, it would be draw most likely. But right now, Fabiano starts deploying
I
his
mean, and
weapons.
did you notice that he kind of helped Fabiano because if we go back, queen e5, you go queen e5 here to trade queens. Then after f6, you reject
Yeah,
it, and then
yeah,
f6 is not really weakness. You're helping him to play e5 even
yeah.
after all.
True. And he continued playing fast. So this is like don't play like that because I mean when you open some like rapid games on the chess.com, majority of players they have in the end of the game 9 minutes. So this is the same. Don't do it. You will not rank up like that. So the same.
Probably Vladislav, it can be related to what I watched. There was video in channel of Fabiano Caruana and Christian where they were kind of ranking the players. So I think he put Christopher Yoo last in the list of contenders of winning the tournament. Okay, there was no, there was one guy who was worse than everyone, and then Pre-last place was for Christopher Yoo. Maybe he wanted to teach Fabiano a lesson in this game.
Teach a lesson and to lose like an idiot.
Okay, that's what he wanted. He could know the future.
Because, okay, rook h1 makes sense, but here he instantly plays queen g5, which allows Fabiano just take control of everything. If he just played queen e2, then bishop f5, knight e4, we have some sort of blockade, we are doing alright. Nothing scary happened. Instead, he goes queen g5, takes queen d6, right now there is a threat of queen d3, and after rook d1, which didn't happen in the game, but this would be brilliant tactics. Why doesn't rook d1 work?
It will be clear, showing like of why the bishop pair is very strong, right? Bishop f5 check,
Right now,
king
taking on
a1. Yeah, I
f5 is
mean
not
queen
working
d1.
because we up a pawn, and after king a1,
There's bishop before.
yeah, bishop before with an idea. Oh, sorry, with an idea of mating the king. G4 was played, queen d3, and here Caruana just started roasting his opponent. He doesn't take any time again, 40 minutes, he's playing super confident. Caruana pushes pawns, potentially he has b5 before idea, I assume, also a4
It looks
a3
over
idea.
in practical point of view.
Yeah, a4 was played to stop it. Here for Caruana it was a little bit better to play king c7, but he's low on time, so he plays queen e4, which kinda attacks the pawn, and his opponent, instead of thinking, plays queen of 6, king c7 is played, and right here there was only one resource how to stay some sort of ally, is to play b4, which is not the move you would consider, but the idea is to exploit king's position, and it's worse, but it, according to the engine, gives some chances, at least to hold the position. Instead, g5 was played, defending the pawn, and here, with 2 minutes on the clock, Caruana pretty easily playing. Christopher again rushing, king goes to a6, it's a move 39 already, and after b4, queen c4, b5 no longer working, because it might seem like it mate or we lose a queen, but knight cannot take it because there is a pin. And after queen e8, queen b4, it's just a matter of technique because Caruana boosted time for himself. Uh,
Okay, in that, I mean, I would understand, right? Why last moves were played fast, because, I mean, obviously Christopher realized that he's just lost, that
yeah,
if he'll play good in terms of the chess, it will not save his game, and he tried, I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
But
to put some
for
pressure.
some
But
reason,
before.
this realization didn't come when he was
Yes.
playing in the middle of the game when all the important moments, critical moments, were
It's like,
skipped.
you know, guys, typical advice for all of my students and in general for people who start to play chess. You know, how many games I saw where person, you know, plays very, very fast and then he lost a piece or something, then he starts to think, trying to see, you know, figure out what to do next. But
Yeah.
okay, piece is a piece. You lost the game already. It's too late.
So okay, this is it with this video. What do you guys think? Was it fair that he got expelled? Would he learn his lesson? I mean, who do you support during US Championship? And see you next episodes. Goodbye.
Ciao.